Children, welcome to SR Concepts. In this video, I'm going to start the new topic, that is muscular tissues. So, dear students, in your previous classes, like in class 6, you have learned that the movement in the animal body is done by a special type of tissue that is called muscular tissue. So, right, muscular tissue is the tissue which is responsible for the different types of movements in the body of animal tissues. We know that animals are different from plants in this aspect, that animals body is much more effective in movements. So this movement is because of presence of muscles only in animals, and the plants do not have muscles. All right, so dear students, the muscles have special types of proteins which are the contractile proteins, means they can contract and relax to cause the movement in the body. Okay, so let's move on to the different types of muscular tissues. So first of all, actually there are three different types of muscles. One are called striated or skeletal muscles, right? The second one are the unstriated and smooth muscles, and the third one are the cardiac muscles. So first of all, we will learn about the striated muscles or skeletal muscles or involuntary muscles. So these three names are given to the same type of muscles. Let's understand about them. So students, these are called striated muscles. These are called striated muscles because when we will observe them under microscope, these muscles show alternate light and dark bands or striations, and when we stain them appropriately, so as a result they are called striated muscles. So striated muscles are called striated because on their surface striations, that means light and dark bands, are visible when we observe them under the microscope. The same muscles are also given the name skeletal muscles because they are mostly attached to the bones and help in the body movements. So dear students, these are the muscles which are attached to the bones. So the muscles attached to the bones are called skeletal muscles. We have learned that that the tendon connects bone to the muscle, right? So that muscle which we had talked there were actually the skeletal muscles, right? So dear students, as you know that we can move our bones according to our will, means they will move by our conscious will, that is they move when we want them to and stop when we so decide. So dear students, we can start or initiate their movement, or we can stop their movement according to our will. So this is why these muscles are also called voluntary muscles. Let's talk about a few structural features of them. Dear students, here in the diagram you can see that the muscles are long and cylindrical, and they are unbranched, means they have no branched, but they are multinucleated. Here you can see the multiple nuclei are visible. So these are the structural features of skeletal muscles. So now you know that the skeletal muscles are called by three names: striated muscles, skeletal muscles, and involuntary muscles. Involuntary muscles because their movement is under the control of our will. All right, now let's move on to the next category of muscles, that is smooth or unstriated muscles. So dear students, these are called unstriated muscles because striations are not seen on their surface. Because of the same reason, they are also called smooth muscles because they are not striated. Now they are called involuntary muscles because their movement is not under the control of our will, means we cannot initiate or stop their movement. In our body there are multiple structures which keep moving, or which move without even our will, right? For example, we talk about movement of food in the alimentary canal, means inside the esophagus, inside the stomach, and inside our intestine. So the movement of esophagus, stomach, and intestine, these all are called these all are caused by the smooth muscles, because in the wall of esophagus, stomach, and intestine there are smooth muscles, right? In the same way, contraction and relaxation of blood vessels. Distance blood vessels keep contracting, means their diameter keep changing. They keep contracting and keep dilating, right? So even the smooth muscles are present in the walls of blood vessels, right? So because these movements cannot be controlled by our will, they are called involuntary movements, and the muscles which are responsible for these movements are called involuntary muscles, right? So the muscles present in the wall of alimentary canal and the wall of blood vessels are actually the involuntary muscles, right? Okay, we cannot really start them or stop them simply by wanting to do so, right? So smooth muscles or involuntary muscles control such movements. Now these muscles are also present in iris of eye. You know that the iris of eye also keep contracting and dilating, means when brightness of light is high, right, then they will contract and they will reduce the size of the pupil, right, and in the opposite situation they will just dilate. In the same way, the bronchi of the lungs also have the same type of muscles. So dear students, smooth muscles are involuntary muscles because their movement cannot be controlled, and they are called unstriated muscles because on their surface there are no striations visible. Now if we talk about the next the structural features of smooth or unstriated muscles, then they are here. You can see the cells of the smooth muscles are spindle shaped, means they are pointed or narrow at the ends, and they are pointed, they have pointed ends, and they are uninucleated, means every cell contain only one nucleus. Here you can see every cell contains only one nucleus, right? So there are two features. One is the shape is spindle shaped, and their nucleus is means they have only one nucleus, that means they are uninucleated. Okay, now let's move on to the cardiac muscles. Dear students, cardiac muscles are present in the wall of heart. In the wall of heart, you know that that heart keeps pumping, means keep contracting and dilating, and keeps pumping the blood throughout the body. So this contraction of the heart wall is because of the muscles present in the heart wall, which are called cardiac muscles. So the cardiac muscles are present in the wall of the heart, and that's why they are called cardiac muscles, right? However, you know that the movement of heart is also not under the control of our will, means we cannot initiate the movement or we cannot stop the movement of the heart wall, right? So these muscles are also the involuntary muscles. However, they are not called involuntary muscles, but the cardiac muscles are also a type of involuntary muscles. If we talk about the structural feature of the cardiac muscles, then they are cylindrical. Here you can see the cells are cylindrical, right? They are branched and uninucleated. Here you can see, look at this cell, right? This whole cell, look at this whole cell. This cell is branched also, this is cylindrical also, and it contains only one nucleus. In the same way, here you can see, talk about this cell. This cell is also cylindrical, this has only one nucleus, and this is branched also. So here you can see that the cardiac muscle cells are branched, cylindrical, and uninucleated. So dear students, what are cardiac muscles? They are present in the wall of the heart. And what is the function of the cardiac muscles? The function of the cardiac muscles is to beat the heart, right, to maintain the heartbeat and to pump the blood throughout the body, right? So dear students, this was all about the muscles. In the next video we are going to talk about the nervous tissue. Thank you for watching the video, and please like and subscribe to the channel, and also share the video. Please make your notes from the video, right? You can take screenshot or you may just pause the video. Thank you.